Hello and welcome again. In this lecture, we will talk about cluster failover mechanisms. In IT world, there are common cluster failover mechanisms which you usually see. The first one we often see is called asymmetric or active-passive. In active-passive or asymmetric failover mechanism, an application runs on primary or master server. A dedicated redundant server is present to take over if in case failure happens. Whenever node 1 dies, the application is brought online on the second node. Next, we have failover mechanism, which is symmetric or active-active. In active-active configuration, each server hosts its own application and acts as a redundant server for its peer. If in case something happens to one node, another node takes over, the application is brought online on the other node. One thing to remember in this case is that the redundant host should have capacity to run its own application as well as the peer's application. Another failover mechanism we usually see is called N-to-1 configuration. An N-to-1 configuration is based on the concept that multiple servers cannot fail simultaneously. This is highly unlikely, but it saves the money for enterprise. Instead of bringing redundant server for each node or application, one or two redundant servers are put in place. Whenever anything happens to the original node hosting the application is brought online on the redundant servers. In the next lecture, we will talk about Veritas Cluster Server and its physical and logical components. I will see you in the next lecture then.